The three-body problem is an issue first introduced by Isaac Newton. It involves predicting the orbital motion of three celestial bodies, a famous challenge in classical mechanics. It has long been proven that an exact solution is impossible, and even today, research continues in search of potential answers to this unsolved problem. However, there are those who suffer greatly from this very problem. They are the aliens called Trisolarans from a triple star system with three suns, residing in the Alpha Centauri system. In the context of reality, it's worth noting that the three-body problem does not actually occur in Alpha Centauri. The Trisolarans have evolved the ability to enter a desiccated, dormant state when faced with the unpredictable and perilous movements of their three suns. This ensures their survival during extreme conditions. They're saying,
if one of us survives,
if one survives,
we all survive.
All survive, reflects their ability to revive all dormant individuals as long as one member remains alive. Additionally, within the VR game system they created, the Trisolarans appear in human form for convenience.
This is all for your benefit.
However, it is explained that they would be horrified if they saw their real appearance, suggesting that their true form is unimaginably bizarre from a human perspective. To predict the movements of their three suns accurately, the Trisolarans have tried numerous methods over the ages. They have cast lots, proposed various hypotheses, and even built human computers to perform calculations. Yet, all these attempts ended in failure, even with the advanced technology needed to construct Sophons.
No computer can predict the behavior of three bodies indefinitely.
Their predictions remain partial and incomplete. As a result, their civilization has cycled through periods of prosperity and decline over countless millennia, advancing at a very slow pace. This unstable progression has fueled their longing for a planet as stable as Earth. Having likely begun searching for a habitable planet after achieving sufficient technological progress, they eventually received Yi Wenji's message, which revealed Earth's location. Recognizing their precarious existence, they set their sights on Earth, initiating not merely a migration but a conquest. However, their travel speed is only about 1% of the speed of light, approximately 2,997,924.58 meters per second. At this speed, it would take 100 years to travel just 1 light year, meaning the journey from Alpha Centauri, 4.37 light years away, would take 437 years. While this velocity is remarkably fast by human standards, the stability of the solar system allowed humanity's technological advancement to outpace that of the Trisolarans. The Trisolarans anticipated that by the time they reached Earth, humanity might have already surpassed them technologically. And this is the reason why they decided to destroy human technology. Before invading Earth, the Trisolarans sent Sophons, AI entities made from protons. By applying immense energy, they unfolded an 11-dimensional proton into 2 dimensions and engraved computer circuits onto it, creating an advanced AI. The Trisolarans poured everything they had into making 4 Sophons. These were paired into 2 sets, Sophon A1 and A2, and Sophon B1 and B2, using a principle called quantum entanglement. Once ready, they sent 2 of them, A2 and B2, toward Earth. Now, here's the mind-blowing part. Sophons are so small and nearly massless that they can travel close to the speed of light. It only took them about 4 years to reach Earth. Once they arrived, they became omnipresent. They could exist everywhere on the planet at once, seeing and hearing everything. And thanks to quantum entanglement, they could instantly transmit everything they observed back to the Trisolarans, no matter the distance. In short, the Trisolarans had planted the ultimate spy on Earth, one that was invisible and undetectable, yet capable of watching everything. It was an absolutely overwhelming and unfair advantage. However, as sophisticated as Sophons are, they are, at their core, still just protons. This means they couldn't directly harm humans or exert physical force in the macroscopic world. But manipulating the microscopic world, that was an entirely different story. It was incredibly easy for them to interfere with electronic devices or create illusions.
We are going to kill your science.
The Trisolarans, determined to halt humanity's progress in science and technology, first allied themselves with Yi Wenji, the one who summoned them, and Evans, along with their organization, the ETO, Earth Trisolaris Organization. Using real-time quantum communication with Sophons, they created technology far beyond anything humanity had, including advanced VR systems. These VR systems weren't just tools but a trap, a medium to spread their influence and recruit more followers by presenting an alluring game filled with historical and philosophical intrigue. Once their plans were set in motion, the Trisolarans began targeting humanity's scientific progress. Across the globe, particle accelerators experienced bizarre malfunctions. Scientists started seeing chilling illusions, ominous countdowns, cosmic phenomena like the blink of the universe. Visions designed to shatter their morale. These tactics eroded their sanity and pushed many to abandon technological development altogether. The infamous countdown displayed to scientists was a particularly cruel trick. In reality, even if the countdown reached zero, it's likely that nothing catastrophic would have happened. But the psychological effect was devastating. Even if someone realized this, the Trisolarans had a backup plan, leveraging fanatical supporters like Tatiana to ensure that something catastrophic did happen if necessary. The one who summoned the Trisolarans to Earth was Yi Wenji, a brilliant astrophysicist. She endured profound trauma during the Cultural Revolution. She lost her father, a respected physicist, at the hands of the Red Guards and was sentenced to forced labor. One day, Yi Wenji came across Silent Spring, a book that profoundly impacted her. Written by American marine biologist Rachel Carson, Silent Spring warns of the environmental destruction caused by the reckless use of pesticides. Symbolized by a silent spring where birds no longer sing. Published during a time of unprecedented technological progress and abundance, the book is credited with sparking the modern environmental movement by highlighting the dangers of unchecked scientific advancement and its potential harm to the planet and humanity. Yi Wenji was caught secretly reading Silent Spring in English, a serious offense during that era, punishable by death. However, due to her status as a rare intellectual talent, she was spared and instead forced to work at the Red Coast Base, meaning Red Hill in Chinese, a secret astrophysics facility conducting a major project. At Red Coast Base, scientists were trying to send messages into space in search of extraterrestrial life, but the signals were too weak. Yi Wenji, inspired by a suggestion from an American scientist, devised a groundbreaking idea, amplifying the signal by bouncing it off the sun, effectively turning it into a massive transmitter. 8 years later, in 1977, Yi Wenji intercepted a response, alone. The message came from a Trisolaran pacifist, warning her not to reply. However, disillusioned with humanity after witnessing the horrors of the Cultural Revolution and the ongoing environmental destruction, she ignored the warning and invited the Trisolarans to Earth. Dr. Vera, Yi Wenji's daughter, tragically took her own life after the particle accelerator anomalies forced her research project to shut down. She discovered the devastating truth. Her mother had summoned the aliens, effectively offering Earth to them, and it was their interference that destroyed the work she had dedicated her life to. It's possible that Yi Wenji tried her best to hide the truth from Vera to protect her, perhaps even keeping her completely unaware of the VR game. If Vera did know about the game, the revelation that it featured an NPC modeled after her own childhood, a likely creation by Yi Wenji herself, could have been a further blow. Realizing her past and identity were being exploited for such a purpose might have compounded her sense of betrayal and despair. On the night of Vera's death, Saul was alone in the lab, staring at results that defied all logic, desperately searching for answers. The failure of the project was a devastating blow. especially for someone like Saul, who had not seen significant success in his work for a long time. That night, Vera posed a profound question to him.
Do you believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
No.
No, I don't, he replied. Saul's sharp mind and unique intuition were evident even during earlier incidents, like the Winking Universe event. Using a toy that Tatiana had given Augie, he decrypted the phenomenon and concluded it was fabricated, noting that it couldn't be observed through space telescopes. This ability to see through deceptions and focus on the essence of a problem made him exceptional. Vera regarded Saul as her most brilliant student, saying,
If anyone can figure this out, it's you.
Despite his exceptional intellect, Saul didn't enjoy physics and lacked passion for life. His mentor's death and the successive loss of his friends likely made him want to give up and avoid everything. This apathy was evident earlier when he dismissively remarked, "So what if they come?" during a discussion about the aliens.
I know you can hear me if you want to.
Meanwhile, Yi Wenji, who had looked to the Trisolarans for salvation, showed no outward regret even after her daughter's death, which was indirectly caused by her actions. However, deep down she was shaken.
A liar cannot be trusted.
When the Trisolarans abandoned her upon realizing humans could lie, Yi Wenji finally displayed remorse.
Whose old beliefs have led us down this terrible path. But I still have an idea or two left in me. There may well be a fair fight. Or no fight at all.
Later, Yi Wenji meets Saul, her daughter's brilliant protege, and casually drops a peculiar joke about Einstein. The joke, seemingly a metaphor for how she summoned the Trisolarans, appears to have carried a hidden message. Not long after, the Trisolarans, who had abandoned the Earth Trisolaris organization, suddenly seemed alarmed. They reached out to Tatiana and sought out Yi Wenji again. This suggests that the Trisolarans were unsettled by metaphors and allegories, concepts they struggled to understand, and interpreted her words as containing some significant meaning. Even with their advanced technology, the Trisolarans were not immune to fear, especially when faced with the unknown or incomprehensible. Yi Wenji, who had once been told by the Trisolarans that they would teach her species what fear truly meant, had now turned the tables. By planting fear in the minds of the Trisolarans, she achieved what might have been her ultimate act of revenge. At the time of Yi Wenji's death, it's possible that the Trisolarans sought to eliminate Saul before he could decipher the true meaning of the Einstein joke she had shared with him. This fear of what Saul might uncover could explain their sudden interest in targeting him. In response, humanity, though unaware of the exact reasons for the Trisolarans' focus on Saul, decided to protect him. To ensure both his safety and the development of a countermeasure, Saul was chosen as one of the three wall facers.
The third wall facer, Saul Durand. They will pass the long years alone.
The term wall facer refers to one who faces the wall and thinks. The concept is based on the fact that while Sophons could observe and hear everything, they couldn't read human thoughts. Wall facers were tasked with devising strategies to counter the Trisolarans using only their minds. They were granted extensive authority and unlimited access to resources, effectively becoming humanity's commanders in the existential battle against the Trisolarans. Trisolarans, unable to understand lies?
We do not understand.
A wolf is pretending to be the grandmother.
We do not understand.
Well, he's dressed like the grandmother.
We do not understand.
My lord.
The Trisolarans are portrayed as incapable of understanding metaphors, lies, or figurative language. This might be due to their nature as silicon-based life forms that communicate through optical signals, a form of telepathy-like communication. In such a system, there would be no room to hide anything, nor any reason to do so. However, there is a curious moment when the Trisolarans use metaphor themselves, referring to humans as insects. This seems to echo Evans's earlier description, like insects that can be crushed under the sole of a shoe. It's unclear whether the Trisolarans truly understood the metaphor or if they were simply parroting Evans's words.
You know, these pests who are tracking us.
Pests. We do not understand.
I was using a metaphor, like bugs you can squash under your shoe.
When the Trissolarans eventually realized that humans like Yi Wenji and Evans were capable of lying and acting based on personal beliefs, they abandoned them and their Earth Trisolaris organization, expressing fear. However, they soon resurrected the organization, this time relying on Tatiana to lead it. Unlike Yi Wenji or Evans, who acted based on their convictions and were capable of deception, Tatiana's leadership was driven purely by blind faith in the Trissolarans. In fact, the new generation of Earth Trisolaris organization followers under her leadership,
If they're so fucking superior, why do they care if I live or die?
I've gone to be a soldier in the army of the Lord.
emphasized unwavering devotion, steering the organization toward absolute fanaticism. The first season wrapped up with fascinating storylines about each character and several unresolved mysteries that set the stage for Season 2. With Netflix acquiring the rights and adapting the story into a series, certain elements have been altered. These include the introduction of Saul, a new character who plays a pivotal role as a wall facer, and adjustments to the narrative structure compared to the original novel. While I haven't read the novel myself, some research reveals that the three-body problem has an incredibly vast and intricate universe. This leaves fans wondering how the drama will adapt this complexity in Season 2 and how it compares to the original story. The show has done an excellent job of sparking curiosity. Will humanity find a way to resist the Trissolarans? What new twists and turns await in Season 2? The anticipation for what's next, both in the adaptation and in exploring the novel, is truly exciting.